This last video covers the features that faculty members had when using ItsMySchool. This is feature rich, and for me this is a particular joy for me to write. The algorithms required to get done what you're going to see here were quite complex, but very fun to do. And so and it also, once they were done, the nice thing is that the features that it gave me as an instructor to do a better job for my students was just, it was pretty awesome. If you looked at the previous videos on the features for the students, and you were impressed by that, this component, what the faculty had at their disposal, is what made it all come alive. The students didn't know it. I did, every now and then I would open up the component and the overhead and just to show them the features that were there, just so that they had confidence that I had a huge slew of management capabilities. And I did that as more of a stress reliever for them, so that they would know that if anything came up in the system at any time, I could handle it instantly with a couple clicks of a mouse, and they appreciated that. On the assignment side, one of the things, if you remember the list of files that that was provided for the students, and that they needed to match the file names as they uploaded the exercises that were due, and that had another very nice feature to that, in that once they uploaded all the files, they would get a message on their system indicating that they had uploaded everything. Now, from an instructor standpoint, the system also gave me very nice feedback. What the system did, and what I wrote, if you had a chance to take a look at the previous video that showed essentially a nice little checkerboard of students for the email communication component, that was used repeatedly for me on the faculty side. And so when I went in to the class, I got very good feedback on how the students were doing on their assignments, because the chiclet would, it started out as tan for all the students, and as the students submitted their assignments, the chiclets for each student that actually submitted everything in full, their icon would turn light blue. And so as we got closer to assignment due date, I found out if students were falling behind. I could talk to them and spend a little bit more time on the exercise, give additional helps. I could, I knew what students actually didn't have things done, so I could, incognito kind of look over towards them and say, hey, how's it going? You need a little extra help, and so on. And so it allowed me to individualize things when it was apparent that there was a need for that. And then finally, I'd mentioned that there's ability to change the due dates on assignments, and it was extremely easy. A couple clicks of a mouse and I could do that, and then the entire system calendar would be updated. And the nice thing about that is that if the students fell way behind, little did they know, I knew that, and sometimes they were just getting bit in other classes. Sometimes they were struggling with the assignment that I gave, and it was too hard or whatever it might be. But the bottom line is, I could, having showing a sixth sense, so to speak, in the class, I could go in and just say, hey, you know what, I think I'm gonna give you guys a couple of extra days to finish the assignment. And then a huge sigh of relief in the entire class, and they didn't know that I could just look at my system and I could see if they needed extra time. And so it was just really very beneficial for that. The other thing on the assignment side that was just unbelievable was that for instructors, normally, and if you took a look at the other videos, the collation of all the assignments and figuring out which assignment was from which student, and whether it was the one that they really wanted you to grade, and so on. And then you had to actually, once you finally got all that, then you had to bring it into a directory structure that you could then organize, so that you could actually even begin the the grading process. Well, that literally, that could take 2 to 3 hours at a minimum just to do that. It was unbelievable, and that was for every single class, for every assignment. And with this system, what I did, because I had the file upload capabilities and so on, I wrote algorithms that essentially would go through and iterate through all the students, create a directory based on student name, and pack up the all the students in then it would pack all their assignment files from their individual folders in the system into this new directory, and then it would zip it up, and then I'd click a button and it would then download to my machine, and then all I'd have to do is double click on the zip file and it automatically recreate the directory structure with all their assignments perfectly by name. And so literally it took again, what could be a 2 to 3 hour process per exercise per course. It took that down to about 5 minutes, and so you can imagine the incredible time savings for me. It allowed me to do other things as an instructor that I couldn't have done. Let's click on that first assignment link, and here's a screen capture. What I have here for the faculty is I don't go through the detail as I did for the student side. There's some features and things that essentially if you want to see them, you're welcome to do that, but you're gonna have to contact me for that level of detail. But at any rate, you can see the first tab. I had the ability to view all the assignments. So as an instructor, when you're creating your assignments, you need to have the ability to view them, and as a student would see them in their screen. And so that's what that tab was for. Then you had the ability to create an assignment, and for that took you through a wizard, and then you had the ability to edit what you created. You had the ability to upload assignment files. So if you had files that were different than the wizard based, it allowed you to do that. The other thing that was really cool was that I wrote the system so that instructors they could create a file in a separate system. And one of the things that I noticed is that when you create a document in another system, especially HTML, the instructors didn't realize that you go and you import that into, like for instance, the system Blackboard. When you do that, you'd upload the document, your images wouldn't show up, and then you'd have to figure out how to get those images to work with the document, and that took time and was frustrating. So I wrote an algorithm that would parse the document, determine which elements were images, and then it would take you to another screen and then ask you to upload each one, and then it would put it in an appropriate directory for your course. And then the document, when you would present it, everything worked perfectly, and it took all the work away. So that was that algorithm took a little while to write, but it was fun to do, and even though it was years ago, I still remember what it took, and it's interesting. On the assignment, there's a section, Create Assignment Helps. You also needed to have the ability to manage your assignment files, change dates and things of that nature. And then the assignments, once everything was created, you needed to set up your calendar for all your assignments. So it gave you basically your shot to organize your assignments in the calendar on a session and month, day basis. You also had the ability to set up your communication parameters for your students, and then also to set up your discussions. And so essentially that's what that module was all about. Let's see the course information. I talked about this on and off in the other videos on the student side, but basically you had the ability to upload your own unique syllabus, upload your own unique class schedule, upload your own unique schedule, and then there was wizards in the system that would allow you to create them, and then the wizard would do it always in a set way. I thought it was important to permit instructors to be able to upload their own unique versions if they wanted to. No big deal on that from the standpoint of the capabilities. The only thing was that, again, there was the processing that was done to process images and so on. Learning activities, I also covered this before as I went through, but here you can see I've got this set up by category. So if I clicked on presentations and then the view documents, I could see all the documents that I'd already uploaded for a presentation. I had the ability then to upload additional files, to edit any of the files that were there, and then delete any of the files that were there, and you can see they're organized by category. Okay, the course options, you can see it allowed to create, copy, edit, import, export, and archive all all your courses. And the nice thing about this is that first it would step you as a wizard-based system that simplified the creation of a course, and then asked intelligent questions. It allowed you to copy from one course to another. So when you're starting out, let's say that you have, in fact, the top tab is a perfect example. There's 2 ASP.NET courses. So you create one course. You had the ability, once you created the one course, just to copy over different segments of it into another course. So it was nice for that. The import content, export content, and delete content allowed you to manage different sections of your course, and also to import as much as you wanted and to export. It was quite powerful, and it made things go very, very quickly. Okay, what I'm going to do is break up the faculty presentation into 2 videos. So this is part 1. In part 2, I'm going to cover the course settings, user management, and assignment file management, and then that will finish up this section.